So we're excited to announce the exclusive world premiere right here on FaceTime with Todd Wharton, the compilation dedication album by the one and only Frank Sinatra.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you?
Coming up next, Kendra Checketts. Welcome back to the show, everybody. So my guest tonight has an amazing voice. You all know her from one of the finalists on season 16 of NBC's The Voice. She's a pop R&B sensation and an incredible lady to boot. Let's take a look at a clip.
Drop top down going 85, thinking about all the times you and me stayed up all night till the sun went down, wondering how you came around, you and me. I wanna know, 'cause I'm running around town with my head in the clouds, yeah. I wanna know, babe. One day you told me to breathe those 3 words for you. I got no excuses for all of these goodbyes. Call me when it's over, 'cause I'm dying inside. Wake me when the shakes are gone and the cold sweats disappear. Call me when it's over. I don't know why I do it every time it's only when I'm lonely. Sometimes I just wanna cave and I don't wanna fight. I try, just hold me. Oh, I'm lonely. Mama, I'm so sorry, I'm not sober anymore. And Daddy, please forgive me for the drink spilled on the floor. To the ones who never left me weeping down this road before, I'm so sorry, I'm not sober anymore. Oh, no. I'm sorry that I'm here again. I promise I'll get help. It wasn't my intention. I'm sorry to myself.
Please welcome to the show, Kendra Checketts.
Everything's so good. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm kind of happy it's Friday. I'm not happy I won't be able to do interviews over the weekend, but I need a couple of days break because people see the work I put into this show.
Oh.
And it's not like your normal show. We really wanted to give a new type of platform, like a Fallon meets Living Color, and it's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, the guests are getting phenomenal. You're a musician. I just locked up Jane's Addiction, Fishbone, the Ramones, and it's just coming on. So that's what it's about. It's about putting people like you on with those bigger names, put them all together on one reel, so everybody's relevant. That's the way I look at life. Everybody should be relevant.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, just even like watching I kind of stalked you. Watching your other interviews and stuff, it's really awesome the amount of like research that you put into whoever comes on your show as well. I think that's super awesome, and you can definitely tell how much effort you put into everything that you do. So thank you for having me, first of all.
Yeah, my pleasure. By the way, we got to give it up to Mara and Carrie, who connected with me to have you on. They're both sweet ladies, by the way. Yeah. I had a nice conversation with them, and I believe they're Canadian. So
yes.
Go Leafs, I guess. you
They're the
know, which
sweet.
is great. Sorry, I think we have like a little second delay. First of all, did you like your promo? Because I'm a little bit of a character.
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot more people vibe to comedic stuff and everything else. And I'm a serious person. I'm a civil rights person. So, but the world's got so much crap going on right now that it needs a little more laughing. Needs a little more love. And this
Yeah.
show's going to bring that. And I heard you have a personality. So let's get into it. Feel free and let it out with me because I'm cool with that. First of all, before we get into a lot, I want to get into something that when I read your bio and I did some research, you really impressed me with how you give back.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, I know you gave back on, I believe you did a show where you did all the net proceeds you gave back to a children's organization. So tell
Yeah.
me about that because that's pretty important to talk about.
Yeah, so I'm big on, just supporting the community and giving back to the community. That's always been something that I've grown up loving doing. When I was younger, I had done tons of things with different charities, different nonprofit organizations, and a bunch of other places that it really just made me feel so happy. And I've always said since I was little, I find more joy in seeing other people receive things than me receiving something myself. So just being able to give back and being able to kind of be there as a support well has been something that was super huge. So I released a song when I think it was 11, called Wind Across the Water. And I wrote the song for the song was written about a girl who was abused and neglected by her mother, which some people think that it was a true story about me and my mom. No, it's not. It was basically just like a story in a song talking about, like a child's perspective of being abused and neglected by their mother or a family, someone, their guardian. And so doing that song, all the proceeds that came from the song was all donated to a nonprofit called Child Help, which works with children in families who are currently or have been abused and neglected. So that was a huge thing for me. I've also worked really closely with a lot of nonprofits. For example, Casa was a big one. I try to find everything and anything that would need my help. I'm a huge peace activist. I used to stand on the side of the road when I was like 6. I'd drag my dad down to the side of the road, and I would hold up a sign saying "Honk for Peace," which, like, in retrospect is like, but as coming from like a 5-6-year-old standing on the side of the road holding up a sign. I've worked closely with animal shelter Helen Woodward near me, and just my with causes that mean a lot to me. So I think that's definitely a huge thing that I have always and will always be doing when I'm furthering in my music and stuff.
Yeah, that's so commendable, especially at a young age. I think a lot of people get into more giving back as they get older.
Yeah.
And there's usually 2 reasons. I always speak about it sometimes. 2 reasons why a lot of people give back. They either give back because they need a 20% write-off, so their attorney chooses a charity to give back to make them look good, or they actually give a darn and really go forth. You've been doing this since you're young. I didn't start working with charities till, I'll be honest with you, until I was in my mid-30s. I've always seen it, but I just never really thought about it. But now that I'm a peace activist, a world peace activist, and a civil rights leader amongst a lot of communities here, I'm big. I mean, I worked with Salvation Army, Toys of Hope, New York Cares, cancer foundations, AIDS foundations, and I don't think people realize how important it is just to give a little, or at least your time.
Yeah.
Especially now that you're a face that people know, you can now use that power that you have and really make a difference from when you did before. Are you going to look to possibly have your own 5031 eventually and open up? Do you have a planning on doing that?
I definitely have a lot of kind of drive to want to do that. Whether there being a specific plan or not right now is kind of like up in the air, but it's always something that I am going to be involved in. And, you know, like you said, as you know, people finding the time and or finding the money. And I think it's a huge thing too, where a lot of people think donating to a cause or donating to a charity means that they have to give up some of their money, which, like, in retrospect, necessarily isn't it. There's so many things that you could do to help out, whether that be giving some of your time or doing anything that you can to help is making such a big difference in someone's life. And I think that's one of the most important things that anyone could ever do. And so I definitely want to kind of start my own nonprofit organization, but until then, just making sure that I'm with everything I'm doing, I'm keeping in mind, you know, donating the things that I have, the time that I have, the extra time that I have, the extra things that I have, is something that's super important to me.
Yeah, and I love it. You should just call it Kendra Cares, KK. Like backwards, K in the front, K in the back. That's it. Just Kendra Checketts. I think that's kind of funny. Just leave the other K out, because then people would be like, wait, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
You know? I think people wouldn't like that too much. So what was that?
I said I don't think they would like that very much either.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Unless you just tell them you're a big baseball fan and you just threw 3 strikeouts and that's where the letters came from. You know, that could work. By the way, I got to listen to your new song that came out, I believe, on June 18th. I do a lot of research, memorization. Got to do it. I listened to it 7 times.
Oh my God.
By the way. Yeah, I was listening to it today, and I like hearing new music while I'm working because it gives me inspiration, because I'm always working. And I always listen to music while I've got the Avengers on or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what's cool? I don't know if you ever heard the song. The beginning of your song had a really cool flow to it, and it really reminded me of, and I had to look up the song again and be like, yes. The beginning of it kind of sounded like the song Putting on the Ritz by Taco, the way you did the first verse. That was your first verse, the way you sang it.
Oh
when
my
you
God.
look up the song, look up Taco, Putting on the Ritz. It was a huge hit in the 80s. It was big. And you're going to hear it and be like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Is that the song that they play in like movies and stuff? For like
once in a while. Yeah, once in a while.
Like, I feel like I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a tap dance type of song, like putting on the Ritz. Yeah, because while I was listening to
song that is, yes.
And your song, pretty much the beginning of your song, kind of took it to today's level. You added some flair to it. Yeah, it was dope. And I'm like, okay, all right, Kendra, all right, you got some soul in you. I can hear that. Now you just got to learn to tap dance.
Oh, that will never happen. Me and dancing, not it.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. One of the criteria of being an amazing entertainer is dancing. Today, come on, you can't tell me you got 2 left feet. You have a voice of a soul artist. You have to have some. That's like an oxymoron. That's like an Italian that doesn't like pizza. You got to be able to dance just a little.
I wish I could tell you I was lying. I do not have the moves. I was not blessed with the moves. See, but coming from an entertainment standpoint, I can stand there and dance, but it will be entertaining as a comedy standpoint, but not in like a wow, this is so good. It's more so like oh, is she okay? You know?
Oh man, yeah. Well, I could see it, but I'm going to tell you right now, I did get a chance, and we won't go into it hardcore. We'll just talk about it a little. I did get a chance to watch The Voice, the full season. I got access to it because I don't really watch those shows that much. I'll watch a lot of highlights, and people will tell me, hey, you got to have this person on your show. When I heard your voice, I was like, wow, okay. You know, this girl's got some pipes. And you made Blake Shelton stand up, and Adam Levine, and, you know, Kelly Clarkson. Now, I was surprised Kelly didn't turn, like, originally, because probably everybody thought Kelly would be the first one to turn because you were right up her alley in terms of music, but people have to understand it's got nothing to do with if she liked you or not. she may already have somebody that sounds like you on her team, and that's why they don't turn around. Even though you're probably sitting there singing like, "Come on, Kelly, turn around one. Come on, Kelly. We both have the same initials. Come on, like Kendra Checketts, Kelly Clarkson. Like, what's up? We the KC sisters. What you doing to me right now? Afterwards, we'll go out and get some Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC style, with the KC girls. Like, come on, girl, let's do this. You know?" And she didn't turn around. I'm so sorry.
Kelly
Well, she
is
did at the end.
the sweetest person you will ever meet in your life. It was actually really funny. My parents had come to one of the filmings of The Voice, and as they were leaving and heading home, my dad had called me after. He was like, "Kendra, we just saw Kelly at the gas station." And so my parents, you know, had walked up to her, and my dad walked up and was like, "Hey, like, my daughter's on The Voice." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And my dad was like, "No, like, seriously, like, we literally just left the filming, Kendra." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, Kendra Checketts, I love her." So they were talking for a super long time. Kelly is the sweetest person ever. All of the coaches on The Voice are seriously the most sweet, honest, and helpful people that you could possibly meet. And so it was just super awesome. But yeah, I love Kelly, and it's definitely one of those things where it was like, I'm so happy that I did end up on Blake's team, because it was so unexpected. But I learned so much from it, because there's so much that goes into songwriting and you know, emotion when you're singing a song, and country music plays a big part in like storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
Songwriting, and when it comes to singing your songs. And so me being able to work that closely with Blake, kind of learning and hearing about how he thinks I could benefit with having more of a storyteller vibe and more of a, you know, just connect deeper into my emotions when I sing. I think that definitely helped a lot. So it was definitely unexpected, but it was so good.
And let me ask you something too, and I'm like a curiosity person like everybody else. Well, curious person like everybody else. Was it an advantage for you to work with a man? The reason why I'm saying that, I think when a man is on The Voice, I think it'll be beneficial to them to work with a woman, because you're going to get a different insight from the opposite sex on your voice.
Yeah.
So was it an advantage to you? Because you probably worked with a lot of women in the past, but I think in order to get to the height that you needed, it's always good to work with both sexes to get critique from both sides. Did you feel that was an advantage for you to work with somebody like Blake because he was a guy?
I think it was mostly just the fact of like having such different like side of the world, like genres, that was a huge thing. It definitely is really important, not even just like sex wise, but as a like different, like soprano or alto or tenor, you know, just having kind of that different range of singing. Everyone sings in different ways, and everyone has different cadence to the way they sing and different dynamics. And so it's just a huge thing with someone that's not particularly the same, you know, dynamic as you. I mean, I'm a soprano. I can go way up into the rafters, and Blake kind of down there at like a tenor, you know, level. From what I'm kind of thinking of what you're saying is just, it was super awesome to be able to get pointers from him coming from someone who is so far off from anything that I've ever done. Just because it's, you know, I hear so much from people who have the same range as me or have the same dynamics as me when they sing. Yeah. And having that difference, I really think helped me in the long run to be able to kind of get direction from someone who wasn't so similar to me, so I could hear it from another aspect, if that makes sense.
No, that definitely makes sense. And I wanted to ask that because I'm not a singer. I mean, you know, I told a couple of my other guests, I sing awesome when I'm in the shower because my crowd is like picking it. They loving my song. You know, they don't care that I don't have clothes on. I mean, it's awesome. And, you know, and, but I mean, I sing when I have fun, but also I'm impressed because I'm a huge fan of Adam Levine, and he has a different type of voice. Yeah. What did you get from Adam that you didn't get from Blake in terms of singing wise?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a huge thing, especially, I keep saying there's just the difference in
No, it's a good difference is the perfect word. You have to use it.
So just the difference as well between Blake and Adam is, you know, like Adam does more of that pop vibe, and that's something that I'm I lean more towards. I mean, obviously instead of country.
Mhm.
Nothing against country. I love country music, but as opposed to, you know, someone who is a country artist, hearing from someone who is such a big pop, you know, artist and has such a big pop influence, I think that
Mhm.
was a really cool thing to be able to learn from him. Kind of like stage presence was a big thing, emoting when it comes to pop music. So taking what I learned from Blake from the beginning, which was emoting in a storyteller way, and taking that into a pop aspect was something super cool. And just having confidence. I think Adam taught me a lot about being able to be confident in what I'm doing. Is
Mhm.
go up there and you know, be kind of like stuck up about what you're doing. It's another to go up there and be confident in your craft.
Yeah.
And big thing, because you can tell when someone is super nervous, they don't look like they're very confident, they don't look like they believe in themselves and what they're doing, you know. And it's like, I know I believe in myself when it comes to everything music wise, but just remembering to kind of keep that confidence high when you're performing is a super big thing. So Adam helped a lot with building my confidence when it came to singing, and also stage presence was a huge thing.
Yeah, and that's perfect. And you actually hit something that I was about to say. One of the things that I think people don't realize is that you can be a great singer, but you have to hold that same confidence in front of thousands of people. I speak in front of a lot of people a lot. And there's a huge difference in performing in a bar with half-drunk people than going into a crowd that's all sober. They pay tickets to see you, and you got to come with the thunder, and you can't have any nervousness whatsoever. Is this something that you hold on to inside before you hit that stage every night that gives you the drive to do what you do?
Honestly, it really just comes down to the fact of knowing that what I'm doing is helping other people. A lot of my music, I have been told from people who follow me and stuff, that my music has affected them in a positive, in a great way. And so just know
Mm-hmm.
people out there that follow me and come to my shows who look up to what I do, wanting to do the same thing, or look up to what I do, wanting to be a part of what I've created and what I'm doing. And so I think honestly, just remembering the fact that I'm doing this because I love it,
Mm-hmm.
and doing this because I want to help other people, and I want to show other people that when they try hard enough with something that they believe in, that they can do it no matter what. And so I just think that's a huge thing. Is I try not to focus on myself a lot, and I try to focus on outlook of how other people see things. And so a lot, everything that I do is always, do you think, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, do you think they're going to like this? Like, do you think people are going to vibe with this? Like, do you think that someone's going to gain something positive out of this? And so it's just, it's just a huge factor of just wanting to do it for yourself, but also just wanting to do it for other people as well, and make a difference. So
Yeah, and I like that a lot. Take it from me though, it's always good to do things for other people. As you get older, definitely start looking out a little more for yourself, but always stay humble. There's a difference now. Look out more for yourself, but stay humble and keep focused on why you're doing it instead of just looking out for other people. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people fall into that trap, are always trying to impress people, right? Doing things for people. Do it for you, because when you're in the studio, behind the glass, mic on, right in front of them, the whole nine. You're there. That's your moment, and whether people like your music or not, you're the one that should be happy with it. When you come out of that studio and they play it, and then if it vibes with you, it's going to vibe with the people, because most of the greatest artists of all time made music that they love,
mm-hmm.
not for what the people love.
Yep.
Because if you want to play music for what the people love, you're going to end up being a one-hit wonder,
Yeah.
because you're going to lose focus on why you were doing this in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Passion first, money second, because money comes when passion is there, as long as you keep on keeping on
Yeah.
throughout your lifetime. And I tell people that all the time. How was your I'm going to ask this passionate wise. How was your childhood growing up? I know you started at 5 years old. which is actually kind of a common age for a lot of young singers now, because a lot of kids today have more vibing and learning music and learning quicker and liking to sing. As you were getting older, how was your childhood with the confidence of your family to believe in you that this is what you want to do? Because most parents don't see artistry as a job.
Mm-hmm.
But were there like ups and downs, or were they pretty supportive? Because in that video on The Voice, even in the thing that I used, I had to lower your mom's scream because it was so loud. Somebody called me from China. It's like, yo, Todd, could you like lower that, please? I'm like, it's not me, it's Kendra's mom. Like, I'm not the one screaming like that.
Yeah, my
You know?
parents have always been so supportive of what I do. You know, they've been supportive through everything. You know, when I was super young, and you know, you pulled a whole, mommy, I want to be a superhero. Okay, honey, cool. You know, like, okay, like we can do that. Your parents start like giving you little fake wings and like carry you around the kitchen. Yeah, they've always been my biggest supporters. I'm an only child, and so it's basically been me and my parents like through everything. And so I used to do acting when I was younger, and so like
Right, I was going to ask you that. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so we actually made a little family time out of it. So that was our like family adventures, was driving up to LA from San Diego on a little 2.5 hour road trip, go to an audition, and then we'd like go to Disneyland afterwards and like go hang out for the day. And so it was super fun because you know, my parents were supporting me in something that I wanted to do. They were super excited about it. We turned it into something that was, you know, like positive, fun for the family. But when I started getting into my music stuff, they were always so supportive of everything that I do. And when you were saying before, kind of like, do what you love and the money will follow. And that's what my mom has told me ever since I was a kid, you know, focus on what you love. Yeah. Focus on what you
Tell her
love.
I said that. I co-sign your mom. You are a smart lady. Don't let anybody ever tell you different.
Yeah.
The same.
It's with everything, you know. It's actually kind of funny. I'm going to tell you a funny story really fast because it reminded me. So my parents were talking to me the other day, and they were like, you know, Kendra, like, you know, when you see those movies about like the girls and their parents, and then like the boyfriend comes over, like the guy comes over on a date for the first time, and he comes in, he's all like tatted up, all like scary looking with the chains and all goth on his motorcycle, whatever. And they're like, and then the parents are all like, oh my gosh, like what is happening right now? Comes and knocks on the front door. And my dad looked at me and he goes, well, I was talking to your mom. And I was like, that's what people think when you walk in the front door. Cause I'm like here, added everywhere. Like I've got.
Yeah. All right. I see you. All right.
And so when I say that, because it comes into play of as well, like what parent is going to be like so excited, like, oh my gosh, like my daughter is coming home with all these tattoos and like all this stuff, you know, like what parent, you know? And so when I got my tattoos, my mom kind of said from the very beginning, she was like, oh honey, that's great. I was so happy for you, you know, like, yay. But it comes from a place of her, when she tells me everything, is do what makes you happy, be the creative person that you are, be who you are, show who you are in the way that you decide to do so. So if that means you want to get tattoos, if that means you want to dress a certain way, if that means you want to dye your hair colors, if that means whatever, like do it. And you know, embrace who you are as a person. And that's a huge thing that my parents have been big on ever since I was little, is just you know, doing what you love and focusing on what you love, and don't let anyone tell you that that's not going to happen, because if you put your mind to it, great things are going to come out of it.
Yeah, and she's 100% right. And be honest with you, I would listen to every person that tells you you can't do anything. Because you want to know why? Just turn around and be like, yo, thank you for the motivation. I appreciate you. And then one day when they talk behind your back, you can realize they're behind you for a reason. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Look at it that way. Every negative atmosphere in your life, you could flip it and turn it into something positive. You just got to use it correctly. By the way, where are you? Because you look like you're living in a dope ass home right now. I'm checking this out. I'm stalking back there. I'm like, where's the alarm? Where's the keypad? 'Cause I need to get in. I'm going to be that boyfriend with the tattoos coming up. Be like, what up, Pop? Yeah, I got in. I know your code.
Cat in our house. I'm in my backyard right now. This is my slider door, so you can see the reflection of what's out there. I'll give you a little. My dad was
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I can see it.
We
Oh,
have
you got a little gazebo out
little
there.
gazebo. My dad's little hot tub thing is back there. We've just got little
Okay.
backyard space, little area. So everything that you're seeing is kind of like a reflection of
That's nice.
my slider door here.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm surrounded by buildings in the city. So I'm going to be like, here's a brick. And wait, there's a gray brick. And look, there's Taco Bell. It's like, here, let's go to this side. More bricks. And there's a strip joint. New York City, baby.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, if I were to point it around here, I'd go, oh, okay, there's a palm tree. That's the beach, and that's a sandwich shop. So that's kind of
I love it.
our little things
I
here.
love it. I think I lost you for a second.
There we go.
That's man. It's yeah. Sometimes internet. You live by the internet. Oh, just to let you know, if you're not aware, after this interview's over, if you haven't seen some of the full episodes, we turn this into a full episode dedicated to you. You got your promos, you got your skits, you got everything. So now you could have a real show that you've been on that a lot of people can really watch a real interview instead of some of whatever out there. And I'm saying that I'm going to be out in LA at the end of August, by the way.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Yeah, I have a meeting about the show, and I'm meeting with a lot of pretty cool celebrities out there. It's going to be kind of fun.
Oh,
and I got to go to Disneyland. I've been to Disney World, never been to Disneyland, so I got to I got to tell Mickey what up.
yes. I'm the biggest Disney fan possibly ever. But I went to Disney World for the first time in April with my parents, one of my friends, and it was so fun. But little did we know that we chose for like the two parks that we ended up going to, that those were like the ones that you probably should not have gone to, and you should have gone to the other ones. But granted, it was still super fun. But we went to Epcot for the first day, which is fun. You drink, I was gonna say you drink, you food.
Yeah, they're called smoothies. They're called smoothies.
After probably canned food, but yeah, so that was super fun. It was just a lot of like sightseeing stuff, but then we went to Magic Kingdom, which was fun as well, but a lot of the rides were similar to Disneyland, so we kind of wished gone Magic Kingdom, or sorry, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios instead, because we could have seen a little bit more, but we know that now for future. So
that's awesome. Let me ask you something. So I've spoken to a lot of American Got Talent people, dance, Dominica's Got Talent, American Idol. I just plethoras of them, right? They all kind of say the same thing, like they would have loved to win, but they're finding that a lot of people are telling them you're better off not winning because you're locked into a contract where you have to do what they pretty much what you got to do for years, if I'm not mistaken. Were you happy that you didn't? And I have to ask this. I know everybody wants to win, but after The Voice, were you happy about the freedom because you knew that you made it to the final round? Now you're becoming a face. Were you happy that now, even though you didn't win, you now have that freedom where you can really choose your path on who to work with? Is that something that you even thought about after the show?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely, I would have been happy with either outcome, to be honest. I think even just having the exposure of being on the show in general has been such a really awesome thing. And just even meeting the people there too, like the other contestants and stuff like that, has created such a big kind of thing for me. And regardless of winning or not, I feel as though a lot of these shows, some of them are a little, but as far as The Voice goes, everything that they do is they do to look out for you, and they do to help you go forward. And so honestly, I wouldn't have cared either way. I think it would have been awesome to be able to win, but I think it was even equally as awesome to not. And so I think just in general, the experience of being on the show is probably my favorite part, as opposed to winning or not winning. Just the people that I met, the people that I got to work with was so, they're so immensely talented, everybody there. So I think just, you know, aside from winning or not winning, that honestly, I don't really think was even something that I was focused on, to be honest. I was just kind of living in the moment and doing my thing, but.
Which is the best thing in the world. Now, question, I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this. If you weren't singing, was there something else that you always wanted to do if you didn't pursue the field of music?
This is going to sound so cliche and so typical, but no.
Seriously?
I
Nothing?
not really, no.
You didn't want to be like a pogo dancer or a lion tamer or like a cruise ship director?
I will say this. When I was very little, I wanted to open up my own pet salon. So there was that when I was like super, super, super little. I think I was like 6 or 7. I would film little videos of myself going, standing with my cat being like, hello and welcome to Kendra's How to Meow spa. Today, we're going to be showing you how we groom our pets. And I'm like there with my own cat thinking that like someone's actually going to give a 6-year-old their pet to like groom. But
That's kind of funny.
like growing up, I always had plans that were kind of like backup plans, like graduating from high school and stuff. I was kind of thinking, you know, like maybe I should go to school, like to college for business as like a side thing, like just as a plan B for my music. But honestly, I realized after I full 100% put myself into my music and spent 100% of my time on my music, that's when things started happening. And so at that point I was like, I can't imagine myself doing anything else, and I don't want to do anything else. If I didn't have, you know, like I could say like if I wasn't singing, but I would always still be doing something music related, whether that be, you know, like songwriting or producing or something like that, you know, just being in that space of just having music. I would not know what to do, to be honest, at all.
Okay, definitely honest answer. Now, I know you're dropping singles. Are you looking to do a full album? And I ask a lot of young artists this because, and I talk about this a lot with a lot of musicians, I miss, and it's probably my age, but I've always seen the artists that really last the longest are the ones that create albums. Now, we all know singles are what makes money also, but how many artists do you actually know, especially young artists, can actually do a concert by themselves? The reason why I'm saying that is everybody's dropping singles so they can make money. But if you look at the seasoned artists that last for a long time, like a Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani, Maroon 5, what do they all have in common? Right? Kelly Clarkson, they all have albums and they can all hold their own concert because they have their own music. Are you looking to do your own albums as well and not just drops to help, you know, pursue your career?
Yeah, so actually, this is the first time anyone's going to hear this, so you're getting a little insider here.
Welcome, everybody. You're about to hear an exclusive on FaceTime with Todd Wharton with my girl, Kendra. Yo, Kendra, take it away, girl.
So, at the end of this year, 2021, I will be releasing an album. And I will be dropping singles every few weeks. Starting very soon, going up album. I have so many things to say in my music, and I have so much information that I want to cover, I guess, when it comes to my music, and just so many cool and exciting things that I've been working on that I want to show that isn't a part of the album. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to like spam everyone, like for lack of a better way of explaining, just like spam everyone with all these singles. And then at the very end of the year, a whole album is being released, and I am so excited about it. I literally just finalized the details with my producer / best friend / basically brother at this point, Caden.
Awesome.
finalized it, and I'm so stoked about it. Like, so excited.
Is Blaze going to be one of the songs on that album?
So I'm thinking that it might be. We're kind of going back and forth with it.
It's such a good song. That should be the first song that comes out on your album. It's so good.
Oh, thank
You
you.
got to remember, the first song on an album is what pretty much depicts the future of the entire album from start to finish. I'm telling you, man, Blaze should be the first song on your album. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
So listen to me. If you happen to look me up, I'm around a lot of these heavy musicians a lot. And I'm telling you right now, Blaze should be the first song on your album. It's already out. You might as well just put it as the first song and lead it into all the other great ones.
I'm gonna put it out as the first song and be like, "Thank you, Todd, for the information." Because, Kendra, so Caden, my producer, is actually in here right now. He just says, "I just finished the demo for the second song we recorded the other night." So we've got some stuff. Got some stuff on the up and up. But
yeah, you guys got to send it to me because I would love to hear it.
How I met Caden is so hilarious, and I'm gonna tell you because it is just the funniest thing, like, possibly ever.
Yeah.
So how I was telling you, I went to Florida back in April. I was on the plane ride back. I hate planes. Like, absolutely hate planes. They scare.
Yeah, it must be hard to be a touring artist to hate a plane. I mean,
I just, like, I don't know. I just can't sleep for like 2 days prior so that I could just like knock out on the plane and just not even worry about it. But as I was on the plane, you know, they have Wi-Fi on there, and so you can like AirDrop and iMessage and basically do anything with Wi-Fi.
yeah.
So I'm sitting there like in the plane, right? And I'm looking at my phone and it says like AirDrop from, and it was just like a random person. And I was like, weird. Okay. So like I accepted it. And it was like this meme of like this old man or something like that. And this little like with like pink hearts around it. Just like this old man. It was like, it said like ooh woo on it or something. And I was like, who is sending me this right now? So I'm like sitting here and I'm like, what is actually going on? Like, what is happening? So I keep getting like more things, and so my friend is getting them as well, and so we're both like, what is happening? So we're airdropping back and they're airdropping back, and so finally my friend who was sitting next to me was like, I'm gonna ask them to like raise their hand or something, and I was like, okay, cool. So they accepted it and they raised their hand, and it's funny enough, they're sitting like, imagine like the other side, one row back on the plane, and I was
Wait,
like,
how did somebody get into your phone who never doesn't know you?
because
I don't understand that.
on. So you can put in your settings on iPhone that like anyone can airdrop you if your airdrop is on. So I had
That's kind of creepy. That's kind of creepy.
also decline the airdrops. However, I was feeling a little excited and I was like, you know what, maybe this will get my mind off of it. But so it was this girl, and so she was there with her whole family, and she was like, send me your guys' phone numbers. I'll make a little group chat of me and my siblings that are on the plane so that we can all like talk for the next 4 hours while we're stuck on this plane. I was like, okay, cool. So we're like texting in this group chat, and Caden, who is one of the siblings in the group chat, said, oh, I overheard one of you guys talking about the fact that you did music. And I was like, oh yeah, that's me. Like I sing. And he was like, oh, cool. I do music too. And I was like, oh, no way. And so kind of for the next few weeks after that, he was sending me stuff, and I was like, we need to work together. Like, we need to do stuff together. Literally, when I tell you, in 2 hours, we got down the entire basis and everything for Blase that came out. The entire thing. In 2 hours. And we were like, what is happening right now? And so since then, since working with Caden on stuff, he is literally my best friend possibly ever now at this point. But one of the most talented producers you will ever meet in your entire life, all self-taught, 23, like the craziest, most insane person ever when it comes to like talent stuff. And so he's the one that's working with me on all of my future songs. And so, yeah, I'm so stoked about it for us to be kind of like moving forward and working on all of our stuff together. It's going to be so cool.
That is a great song. Listen, if you ever like pop, you should approach the airline and do a commercial. Like, you never know who you're going to meet. You know, I mean, think about that commercial. You'd be sitting there. You'd be like, when you're on our airplane, you never know who you may meet, your husband, your best friend, or your music producer. Pan Am, the place where you meet the right people.
Wait, tell me why that's actually the coolest, most amazing idea, actually ever?
Wouldn't that be so cool? You
Oh,
know, because right now airlines need as much publicity as possible to get more people to come fly with them. You know, or it could be come fly the Friendly Skies, use that airline, but take Friendly Sky to a different level. Like,
honest, I don't even remember what we were flying to come home.
well, it was definitely an airplane.
I would hope so. I would really hope so.
It wasn't like a dragon or anything. But yeah, just look at your ticket. But seriously, that might be something you should. Now your publicist's like, great, Todd. Now you're giving us more work. Appreciate you. I was trying to retire after this.
So excited now, though, to be honest.
Oh my God, yeah. It's some of those ideas that make the biggest impact. Because remember, it's people need things right now to relate to, and I think that's such an incredible story that you met your music producer who's putting together a song or already put it together a song, and I'm telling you, that's a song that I can see at the top in the charts. I mean, it's really good. It's a feel-good song. It's a dance song. Just let the airline know that when you're performing the song, if you ever do and they sponsor you, even though it's a dance song, your ass don't dance. You got to have some people behind you. So you could do one of these things, like one.
Dance.
And every time you move, tell me to add strobe lights so it looks like you're really killing it. Which would be kind of funny.
I can just stand and they can get a picture of me and then they can edit like my body parts around to make it like look like I'm dancing, but
yeah, like holograms of Kendra just going crazy. And people be like, how did you do that? Be like, well, I always loved Loki and I saw the way he spread himself out. So I'm like, screw it, this is my Loki vision. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do my thing.
But for dance moves, that's what I need.
I'll teach you how to dance. I'm a dancer. I can do that.
Yeah, that's what I need. I'm going to need that because I can't do it. I really can't.
Well, I'm telling you right now, just learn a little. Just learn a little. Like, I mean, think about it this way. If more guys can come to a woman correct and actually treat her right from the get-go, you can learn how to dance. Can I throw it at you like that?
It is true. That is very true.
All right. Got to throw that at you like that. Now all my fellas are like, yo, Todd, what's up, man? Why you say some stuff like that?
Oh, my God.
So since COVID's up, which I think as a musician, you're probably really happy that a lot of the mandates are starting to be, settling down. Are you starting to find that you're getting booked a lot more? Do you have some things coming up that some of your fans and friends should know about?
Yeah. So honestly, I'm just kind of like hermited in the studio right now. I'm just kind of like vampire vibes, like super dark, scary, don't come out of the studio. Just trying to get as many songs as possible kind of out there before I perform more. I think COVID definitely had an interesting impact on me, to be honest, just because of kind of being, I think it's more so a fact of like, I'm a big home buddy and a very big like studio buddy. So like if I'm in the studio, I won't leave and I'm totally fine with just being by myself in there. And so I think it was just because of the fact that knowing that I wasn't allowed to leave, that was the biggest thing. Cause I was like, I don't really leave anyways, unless I'm going to the studio. But I think just knowing that I wasn't allowed to leave was just the thing that was making me mad. And so I was just kind of in this big, like kind of funk. And I was just kind of, working on stuff that hasn't been really, will be. But honestly, just, I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing is like full capacity when it comes to performing and stuff moving forward. So I'm kind of waiting until everything dies down a little bit because I want to make sure that, people who want to come but don't feel safe coming, or people who aren't allowed to, or people who are too scared to, or whatever, are able to attend. And I want to make sure that that's a big thing. But I was looking more into as well, still doing kind of like a virtual concert type thing. So that's something that's kind of on the horizons, just so that more people can watch and come, and you can be anywhere in the world and you can watch it. So I think that's something that I'm more leaning towards right now, just as far as COVID goes, until it gets a little bit better.
I'll be very honest with you. I've had a lot of people try to do virtual concerts, and they're finding that the idea is good, but the problem is the vibe is not the same at all, especially even for the fans. because you're performing by yourself. Unless you have like a stadium behind you, it's kind of hard to really feel the moment that people are watching you, because the problem is there's so many people when they're watching you go in and out.
Yeah.
They won't listen to the whole song. They'll be too much paying attention to making comments and stuff like that that you're not even going to see. And, you know, it sounds like a good idea, and it should be, but I think more people now would rather see you live than just do it. And honestly, the internet, I'm going to be very clear with you, can really screw up your performance.
Yeah.
Because if you're performing, your sound is not going to be the same. Okay. What if it goes in and out? What if it's blurry? And that kind of affects your career. And to be honest with you, I've had plenty of artists do stuff online and they didn't get booked after that because their voice got messed up because of the internet. It wasn't the same. So definitely keep that in mind, because you have a powerful voice. And my attitude was always, be patient and wait a little longer until you're able to show people what you got, instead of rushing to show people what you don't have, because the internet will do that to you.
Yeah.
And that's the honest truth. And never rush your talent, because your talent's always going to be there. And your fans will always be there, because remember, they want to hear the best of you. They don't want to hear the mediocre. And that's the straight up truth. And that's probably the best advice I can give you.
I need this like every day.
I do this with a lot. I'm a consultant, so it's pretty crazy. You got to come out to New York, though. New York is a powerhouse. New York is exploding right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's starting to come back here, and I'm trying to put my concert together in Times Square, because I run New York City's concert every year in Times Square. So
awesome.
We're working on that as well. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you down here, and hopefully I'll see you in LA.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of great. But Kendra, it's been such a pleasure talking with you today.
So amazing talking to you. I seriously appreciate you having me on here. You're so amazing, and you're awesome.
No, thank you. And you're pretty cool yourself. I like you too, girl. You're pretty good. All right. And kudos on your producer, man, on Caden. That's pretty cool. I love the story. Definitely look into that idea, because I think it'll be a big one if they can do it, which would be great. So guys, if you don't know, we're talking with Kendra Checketts, pop R&B singer, songwriter, community activist, charity lover. She's just an amazing girl. Definitely go check out her new song, Blase. She's got an album dropping at the end of the year. I think it's going to be an amazing hit. And I look forward to having you back again when I have a studio audience, because that's where we're going to. And then we're going to go from there. So on behalf of myself, Kendra, thank you for your voice. We appreciate you. And I look for a lot more great things to come.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything.
You're welcome. Have a great night and be safe.
You too. Bye.
I love that girl. She's such an inspiration. I love artists that are just so talented, so humble, have such a great personality. And those are the ones I really want to see go far. And I think Kendra has what it takes to become an amazing, amazing pop star in this industry today. Pop and R&B. We can't forget that. So I want to thank my live virtual audience, as always, for sticking around with me and enjoying this great interview. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. Be safe. And like I always say, if you're not living the passion in life, then whose life do you live? Guys, have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And while you're here, you might as well subscribe to my YouTube channel. And for more information on the show, go to FaceTimeWithToddWharton.com.
What are you doing in there?
Ma, I'm shooting a promo. Why you always gotta ruin my flavor?